because you're not going to compromise. You're not going to submit. You're going to go in your direction. It's your way or the highway.
Wow.
I'm not going to submit.
Right.
I'm not going to compromise. It's my way or the highway. Right. Well, pretty soon you're going to be going your own way. I'm going to be going my own way.
Right.
And we're not going to come back together again because nobody will submit.
Wow.
I like what you said because you also. Is submission a relative concept to most women? We had a pretty lengthy conversation about that.
Yeah, we talked about that for a long time.
You know, and it's weird because when we were actually watching some of the videotapes of women discussing this very topic, they were divided.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
So, and I wanted to share that because I don't want people to think, well, these are all men on the stage, so they don't know what they're talking about. They're just looking at it from a male perspective. No, there are women that are divided about the topic of submission.
That's right. That's right.
And I get it. There's ignorance out there plastered from men too that think submission is domination.
Right. That's not it.
And it strictly do what I say do. Slavery.
That's slavery. That's not
Right.
submission. That's slavery.
not submission.
Yeah.
No, that's not submission.
So let's
That's
talk
slavery.
about that. Let's talk about that.
Oh, y'all gonna put me out different? Fine then. No, you know what? And I've said this before, and I'm going to start here, and y'all can just, I guess, fill it in as we go along. I really do believe that we have a very flawed, skewed, incorrect idea and definition of what submission really is. I'll start off by saying like this. Believe it or not, the reality is that submission is a universal principle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody, every creature is at some level or another submitted to something else.
Yes.
I'll give you just a good prime example. Whenever you get to that red stoplight, you stopping.
I submit.
You submitting to that light.
Right.
Otherwise, there's a consequence
Yep.
that comes to visit you when you don't submit.
Right.
And so the reality is submission is a universal principle. Here's the other thing. Again, submission is not being dominant over somebody else.
Right.
It's not about your ability to dominate somebody else or to control or manipulate somebody else. Submission is me acquiescing to you,
Right.
compromising with you, working toward a common goal.
That's right.
That's what submission is. Here's the other side of it. Ladies, understand, wives, hear me real good. It's not just about your submission to your man, and it absolutely is. But it's also about us as husbands, as fathers, submitting to our wives, working together with them, because ultimately we are all submitted to God.
Amen.
I'm submitted to God. At the end of the day, whatever happens in my household, I am responsible for.
That's right.
Which means I am submitted to him. Which means I'm not out here running as into a law unto myself. I have a boss, and I have to answer to him
Right.
every day.
That's good because, you know, it also allows you to set standards in terms of rules and that govern your life when you're submitted.
Yeah.
You know, when, as you said before, in terms of the creatures and the elements and everything in the earth, it has a submission point where, you know, gas and oxygen have to submit to one another to create other energies. You know, and so when you think about that from that perspective, it's a real thing. It's not just a theory thing. It's a real law of nature.
Absolutely.
In Genesis, real quick, in Genesis, when God divides the night from the day, and he establishes the greater light and the lesser light.
Yeah.
You don't never see the moon running up on the sun talking about, it's my time.
There's an order for it.
You know, there's order in this in terms of what he has established.
Right.
We are the only creatures, human beings are the only creatures on the face of this planet that try to do and act as we will without being submitted to something else.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing about it, you mentioned this a moment ago, where we get that passage from as it relates to submission. Ephesians 5, I think 24 is where it says, wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as unto the Lord. I think Ephesians 5:22 is where it says, submit yourselves one to another.
That's right.
And so it gives the context for submission in the family, submission in the relationship, and how it works. We submit ourselves to one another. One of the things that we teach in marriage counseling is that we do the 4 C's: commitment, communication, compromise, and character, right? And when you talk about the idea of compromise, all you're saying is that in order for this thing to work, You got to give some, I got to give some. You got to get some,
Yeah.
I got to get some.
Right.
It's a give and a take.
Right.
We're submitting every time we compromise and negotiate a deal. We're compromising. We're submitting one to another. Anytime you don't have that in a relationship, you get frustration.
Yes.
Anytime you get frustration, because you're not going to compromise, you're not going to submit, you're going to go in your direction. It's your way or the highway.
Wow.
I'm not going to submit. I'm not going to compromise. It's my way or the highway. Well, pretty soon you're going to be going your own way. I'm going to be going my own way. And we're not going to come back together again because nobody will submit.
Wow.
I like what you said because you also touched on that earlier. When you shut down, I may look like I'm going your way.
I'm not.
And when you think you can depend on me after you're ready to change, then I'm gone.
I've already gone. Right.
Wow.
I've already left. I'm sitting.
Because
I'm,
we don't have the
I'm sitting in the living
communication.
room. I'm sitting in the living room, and I'm not here though.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
what's that old song? Your body's here with me.
But your mind's
But your
on
mind
the other
is-
side of town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you sit there talking to me, and I'm looking you right in your face, and in my mind, I am somewhere else. Yeah.
You know,
so
and-
the idea of
yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. That's good.
Well, so the idea of submission in marriage has with it this terrible connotation of a husband walking into the house and
Right.
wiping his feet on the wife's back as she
Right.
greets him at the door,
Yeah.
and then going into the living room and sitting down and she dusting her back off and then coming to bring him his plate.
right.
And that's just not what it is.
what it is.
And that's never what it's been. Never what it's been.
Hey guys, it's Pastor John here. Please, if you like this video that you just saw, hit that like button for us. Second thing I want to ask you to do is to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're putting out videos once a day at about 5:30 p.m. Hit that bell notification so that you'll know when a new video has been uploaded. And then the final thing to do, share this video, share this information. If you know somebody that has a need that it can be benefited by it, please put it out in circulation so that we can try to help as many people as possible. Thanks, and God bless.